Alrighty, we're gonna have our last video in module 7 for covering individual oils for working with the Shen and the Spirit, and then there'll be one more video in this module after this to look at a case study and a formula, and then that will wrap up module 7. So in this video we're looking at individual oils that cool the blood, nourish blood, and regulate qi while working with the Shen and the Spirit. And Clary Sage is the only one that we're going to go over that we haven't talked about at all. So we're getting to that point where we've talked about a lot of the individual oils, so we'll just touch back in with them in relation to the overriding category and topic that we're discussing. And that will be true again in module 8 when we talk about gynecological conditions. But when we meet in person on the first day, we're going to talk about working with bee and injury, and that's going to bring in some new individual oils again from those categories that we haven't talked about. Getting back to Clary Sage, it is a mid-note. The flowers and the leaves are what is distilled. It's cooling. It resonates with the liver, the heart, and the kidney. And it's an 8% dilution. It does have some cautions and contraindications. Use caution, avoid or use very small doses in pregnancy, and with certain cancers it is an estrogenic oil. And do not use with alcohol. Let's see, and then the categories: clear heat from the stomach primarily, cools the blood, and subdues wind. So you can copy that down, pause and copy. I'm going to jump right onto functions. Actions are sedative, hypotensive, anticonvulsant, antifungal, and euphoric. Cool heat in the blood and empty fire. Subdue liver wind. And descend running piglet qi. So it's helpful for night sweats, hot flashes, anxiety, insomnia, heat, 5-palm heat, and amenorrhea, when empty fire is the culprit for those things. It's good for heat in the blood. Again, if there's insomnia, bleeding, varicosities, hemorrhoids, phlebitis, or hypertension from heat in the blood. And then I have lots of extra notes on Clary Sage. It's active on the Wei Mai. It's very good for lung yin deficiency heat. It's strong to induce euphoria. It's good with other flower oils and with wood oils. It can be helpful when there are unknown fears, and if those result in night terrors, both for kids and adults. It's helpful when there are panic attacks from empty fire. It's strongly active on kidney 3. It's a helpful oil during menopause. It's cooling and calming. It helps with hot flashes and night sweats. It's good for people who are desperate for meaning. Strong to clear heat in the chest. If somebody is drawn to euphoria and to uppers and like a bit of a sense of mania, this is a helpful oil. It's good for the eyes. Heart and liver connection, clear heat from both the liver and the heart. It's good for anxiety and depression. Helps people to see the things that they are afraid of. brings into one's own knowing. People who are anxious spiritually. It's very calming, is helpful for panic and shock. For people who worry about things that they may have done wrong. And that's the Wei Mai connection there too. So that's Clary Sage. And then also in the CoolBlood category, but we've already talked about in Module 7, are Mimosa, Rose, Vetiver, and Lang Lang. So you can see how we're starting to have covered a lot of the oils. And then both of the NourishBlood oils that we're going to touch back in with, we've already talked about. One is Angelica, and it's helpful to nourish blood and calm the Shen by nourishing the blood. It helps to ward off evil, creates inward focus, and a connection with the divine. Roman chamomile nourishes blood by calming Shen, helps to release suppressed anger, and can be helpful when someone's dealing with an eating disorder. And then moving into the RegulateQi category, petitgrain can be very calming for the Shen and spirits, and it's calming via regulating Qi. And then we've already discussed most from this category already in Module 7. It's that overlapping category thing that essential oils has. Yeah, so this was a short video. That was, those are the ones we wanted to cover and just retouch back in with, and that wraps up individual oils that we're going to discuss for working with the Shen and the spirits. And we just have one more video left in Module 7, and that's going to be the case study and formula creation. And then we'll jump into gynecological conditions. Will be our last module on video. So getting close to the end of watching the videos, and then we will meet in person.